Hello everyone and welcome back to Wicked Art. It's Wicked here and it's Fun Draw Friday. So I put up a little poll to see what everybody wanted to do for Friday for fun. And we had several choices, but there was one that had more votes. So if you want to make sure that what you want to see is on here, go ahead and vote when I post these polls so we can ensure we get everything that everybody wants. So what I'll do is I'll remove this one and kind of reissue that poll again and maybe add a couple extra ones, and then we'll do that from there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. We're going to draw Goku fighting Vegeta, and I also just want to say thank you to everyone who did vote. I really appreciate that. That makes making this content for you guys a whole lot easier. So what I'm going to do is we're going to start with the heads. I just think it makes it easier that way. So I'm just going to start with Vegeta on this side. And we're just going to start drawing him out. Try to get that anime type style to it. So this is not going to be my brow furrowed for him, but I'm going to try to keep things even. So you might see me jump, back and forth a little bit. And the process will be a lot easier if I just kind of draw it out instead of breaking down the shapes. Sometimes it's easier for me to just do it that way. Let's bring this down. And as I go along, you might see me refine the lines a little bit already. Okay, so let's get this nose out here. And get that shape going. Okay. And then next thing I'll do is I'll probably come in and start adding some details to the face already. Like getting the eyebrows out there. Okay. And then we want to make sure that we have the eyes facing the right way. So we'll do that. And then I'm going to thicken up the edge with the eyeball here. Okay. And we're going to give him kind of that Majin Vegeta look with that extra outline on the eyes itself. And then what that can allow me to do is once I come down here with the nose, I can come back with the mouth. And we can kind of draw the shape of his mouth like he's screaming. So we can kind of open the mouth up like this. And come out with the lip right here. And then all we have to do is draw some of the teeth right here. And then just come up here to like this corner area. And we'll draw the top set of teeth. like that. Okay, so we kind of have our mouth open. Alright, then I'm going to come down with my chin line. I'm going to come up here back behind my ear. Maybe a little bit more than that. Also want to make sure you kind of get the angle right. So we'll have that kind of come out this way and round up. So it'll be kind of like our face is there. And then we can get the underside to build out the neck first. And make sure that that curves around good. Right there. Okay, so for the ear, just going to take that up and we'll draw in our details here. And we'll get in a couple extra lines here. Then I want to kind of come out the bottom of the ear. Okay, so just a little bit, and then come out. And we'll start the hair that way at that point. Okay, and I can bring the rest of the neck down and turn in. And then let's kind of bring out the shoulder a little. That'll be like our chest there. And then we can come underneath here. And that'll be like the marking point for our neck. So now I can take this shirt down. And we can come across right there. Okay, so let's try to keep things even. So I'm going to come this way. And then curve up. Like that for the neck. Okay, we'll bring his shirt up past this area. And bring that back. Okay, so I want a little bit of a gap between this next part. And we'll just have that go down that way. And have that curve in. Okay, and I'm trying to squeeze the both of them in here, but draw it big enough, you know, so that you guys can see everything. So next thing I want to do is I'm probably going to go ahead and start working the hair. So we'll just take this up, kind of slant it back like that, and then come down. And just like with most Dragon Ball hair, you got to get that little bit of extra line work in there. So again, we want to kind of get longer with each piece. but not like, you know, super crazy long. So let's erase this out. Okay, once we come up to a point, gotta get that layered line work down. That, so I'm gonna, like I said, try to keep things even. So I'm gonna come back over into here. So under the neck, I probably want to angle this part back a little bit. And then just above that, I can come back and form another triangle shape. It's going to be Super Saiyan. Okay, and then let's bring another line down. Just for that little bit of extra detail. Okay. And then right in here where we left off, right here, we're going to bring down this from the forehead here. Just kind of bring that up and kind of turn it back slightly. And that can come down right inside here. Okay, now from the inside of that, where we came down here, add another one. Right in here. Put extra line work here. And we can take from the top here. Bring that down as well. Just have that kind of turn down the line right there. Okay, and then we'll just continue moving back. So we have her here. We'll draw on another line here. And then we want to kind of have a little separation here on the neck. So I just kind of thicken that up a little bit. And then running right off the edge here. That way it looks like it's going behind the shoulder. Okay, so we'll come down this way, like that. And we'll do another one. So you can see how we're starting to build the hair out layer by layer. Okay, we have a little bit more a gap here, so let's come out from here and really turn that up that way. And we can come down. Tell you what, let's get rid of this. It just looks too busy. Sorry, it's bothering me. So we have to get rid of it. Let's do more of a, like a subtle line work. We'll do one like that there. Okay, I'm going to throw one more out here, but I want to bring I'm going to bring that shoulder out first. Okay, so obviously I'm not going to fit all of Vegeta on here. It might work out the same for Goku. We're missing small areas of body. Okay. So let's just kind of come out from here. And we'll get a little line work here. Then what we want to do is turn up this way. And let's get one more here. Like that. We'll curve that down. Get some more hairline work in there. And we'll turn this down. And just get a couple of extra lines for hair. Like that. Okay. Now we do need to come and get some detail down in here. So let's get a chest muscle. Like that. And then we can just kind of bounce off of that one right there. We can get a few more necklines in here. Just for that little bit of extra detail. Okay, so now we have a nice Vegeta head screaming. We do want to come off the shoulder here. Build another shoulder muscle piece. Okay, and we kind of got a little bit of a third shape we can put in there. Then we can just work right up and get a little bit of a bicep right there. So that's going to kind of go off the page, but again, that's just, we can just chalk that up to poor planning on my part. Probably should turn my sketchbook the other way, but again, y'all know me. We continue on. We drive forward. Okay. So we come down here. We have our chest. Right. We're gonna come out, and then we can kind of go from there. And we can add in a vagueness to our chest shape a little bit, right? And then kind of have that come up. So we plane that right into there. And then we can just kind of come off and start building up our shoulder. And let's see, how can we finish that? Let's take that down this way. Okay. And then we can kind of arch this downward. Like that. And then down here, right at the shoulder group, I add in some lines to build up the shape of the muscle. And we can kind of start the forearm this way. So we'll shape that down right into the arm. Let's round this chest off a little bit more. It's not so pointy. So we have the bicep, and then we kind of have like the underside of the arm. And we only have to come out a little bit for that. And then we can draw the rest of the outline. And once we get to there, we want to kind of roll out into the elbow. Okay, use this little bit for our forearm here. We want some more line definition. But what we'll go ahead and do is we'll go ahead and start drawing his glove. So it's kind of got like a, usually goes into like a hexagonal shape. And come out, do our forearm that way. A little line here for the a little bit of where the muscle turn is. Okay, now let's come up to the glove. And let's build out our thumb. Okay, we'll take that back. And we'll come bring in a finger. So we'll just kind of round that out. Obviously, we can make any adjustments that we need to. I'm going to try to work my way over, and we'll get the rest of the hand and fist in there. And I'm going to try and work in as much as Goku as I can. For you Goku fans out there, I'm sorry, I'm a little biased towards Vegeta, so that's why I started with him. So I'm sorry if he knocks out your Saiyan of choice for most visible in the picture, but I've drawn Vegeta for a long time, so I've always liked his character arc in the story. Let's get little line works in here where we can. Probably gonna need bring that thumb out a little bit more. And put our little finger lines right in here. Kind of straighten that out a little bit more. Bring that down. We'll do one more set right here. Okay, so we have that out. Now before I move on to Goku, let's finish out Vegeta's clothes. Okay, so we have that part of the body here. I'm going to have a little bit of shirt that comes out. And that's going to turn back like that. Okay, and then we're going to come out this way. And again, we'll have another little crease right here. And we have a few extra lines for clothing wrinklage. And then we're just going to take the thigh out. Let's say it right here. Okay. So we have that. Now we want to kind of start setting up Goku. So I'm going to do this in a way that'll help me get as much of him into the image as possible. Like I said, my apologies in advance for that. Yeah, I think I see what's kind of throwing me off now. I didn't draw in like a palm on the hand. That's the first weird part. Then we can kind of put some creases in for the glove. We can bring that down like that. That gives us a little bit more detail. Okay, so I'm going to just draw him, like I said, in a way that allows me to put as much Goku in there as I can. So what I'll do, instead of like having him lock where I wanted, I'm going to try something here. So I'm going to start with Goku's face. So this will be like the left side. Okay. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to work in part of his shoulder. Okay, so I have my face, come up, an angle, we'll go back. So let's take and go ahead and get in the eyebrows. Like that. We also need him to be in fight mode. So we kind of have to give Goku that scowling look too, because he's in a fight. So we're going to kind of draw that for the in-between of the eyebrows for the brow part, where it's furrowed. And we'll come back with the eye. Curve that out. So let's bring this a little bit closer. Like that. Okay, and we can just simply draw in a circle. Okay, we can come out with the nose. Goku's nose a little bit on the skinnier side. And give a hint of a nostril shape, but not too much. A little bit more of that line work to sell his anger in there. Let's get another eyebrow out. And stretch that out just a little bit more. And then all we have to do is draw the second eye right here. Some cheek line work. And then we want to get the mouth. This Dragon Ball is all about that yelling. So I'm going to get that in there. It's a nice little mouth shape there. So what we can do is we can kind of darken this area first. Then we can take it back. And again, we can kind of darken this back area like that. And then we want to kind of, because we can see the mouth differently, so we want to kind of start the line back that way. And as we get towards the front, all you have to do is this, where you just kind of switch it and go back. So now we have an open mouth for Goku as well. So now that we have our forehead right here coming back, kind of want to work out some line work to a point, because Goku's hair comes out in front of his face, usually when he's, you know, flying most of his back, but he has, not like Vegeta's receding hairline. He actually has little bits that hang off the front of his head. Okay, so we want to kind of make it look like the hair is growing out of the head, so just some simple line work can help sell that. Right, and then same thing like we did with Vegeta's hair. We want a few strands coming back from the center. Okay, so we can take this out. And we can get this other shape. The hair here. And just have that round towards the front. And a good way to kind of show that underlay is to just have a line come back to a point. Okay, and we can just put like maybe one with this one. All right. Some other things are standing out. Definitely need some line work on the forehead, just to help. And we can come from this area here. We can get that sideburn. and then the ear. Okay. So before I finish out the rest of that, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to do the hair. So we got a little bit there coming out. Couple extra pieces. Let's have a little triangle here. Comes out from the hair. And we'll start up here towards the top, so we want to kind of keep it like it's coming off the head. Okay, so once we come up that way, bring that shape down. Again, I am apologizing for not fitting all of it, but I'll make it up to you guys in the animation video that we're doing. I already decided to just have a cool animation of Goku turning Super Saiyan. So that'll hopefully make up for the lack of planning on my part for how big this picture was. You might need to break out the old rectangular sketchbook for this. Let's see, let's get a couple lines this way. And I know from here I'm going to want another piece coming out. So we have that way. And then right in here we can try our best to fake our hair here. And let's take that up that way. Then down here by the ear, kind of almost coming out of the sideburn, we have the other piece to that hair right here. Let's stretch that out. And if you manage to save space and you know how to finish out Goku's hair, like you have the space over here to finish it out, go ahead and do that by all means. That'll be taking you even a step further than from me. Okay. So again, I want this shoulder here. I'm going to take this back. This will be that orange part of his gi. And we'll take that back here. Turn that way so we can finish our ear out. Again, we're just going to kind of come up, follow the ear around. And we're going to come down to this point. Turn that in. And just get a couple lines to come out for the ear. And it'll give us our jawline that we can use for the head. Okay. So let's come out the rest of Goku's shirt. So it's not going to be locking where I wanted him to. Which I want him to kind of do it at the forearm area. But we can just make it look like Goku's just charging in. With his shoulder, just like he's leading him. So let's take a shoulder shape here. I'll have that come out. A little extra line. And we'll turn that back. And we actually start our bicep line. Just gonna have to kind of imagine that going through there. So let's kind of take the arm out this way. We'll have that kind of become the tricep there. We'll have that run back here to the shoulder. And then what we'll do is we'll just adjust this shoulder line. Just have that come down here. And the rest of the sleeve part of the gi down. And have that come back. So like we can have this come out here. And curve that out there. Okay. And then we can just come up underneath. Get ourselves a little bend in the body. And stretch. Like that. Now from that tricep, you can get that underside of the arm. We have that come out the elbow. Okay, and then we can have like a lean because we want him to look like he's looking to like charge at him with the shoulder lent in. So we're gonna come out and get the pants. Get that thigh down that way. And then to help sell further that he's twisting, we can take that little bit of bands that he has that comes up underneath. And stretches all the way around. So that's the kind of the band wrap that's on his pants. Especially during that Majin Saga. Again, we just want that kind of twisting out. Going that way. Kind of. Now, before I come back down here and finish this is what's bothering me. See this little blank space right here? Okay, so we need to kind of have that come out with some hair too. So we have some little hair lines right there. And then that way we can see where that neckline is. Okay, so let's stretch a line down. Come down the center here. And then usually we just get these little tiny lines that come out from where the cloth folds are. Get ourselves our legs in there. So now all I gotta do is just kind of bring up Goku's hand so it looks like they're clashing. So since we got our bicep here, and we're just gonna have to kind of draw through a little, and our forearm will come out about right here. And then we're gonna have his weighted wrist guards that come out. And let's see, so we have our bicep here, and our forearm. So we kind of come up here, and we'll take that back. And let's have a little separation and come down, split again. Okay, so we have that wrist guard on there. And now we can come in here and we can get the hand drawn right in front of his face. So now it looks more like Vegeta's about to block Goku's attack. Let's turn it up. Really get those knuckle shapes in there. Turn that out towards the finger. Like that. Okay, so we can take that and we can use that shape to build up the turn inside. So we get some finger lines here, and from there we can just come out into the thumb. Like that, and just get a couple of little thumb knuckle lines. Maybe take that back and shorten it some so we can fit in some lines. So now that that's all done, now we can go in and we can start adding some detail. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to outline like a manga by just thickening up the edge around the outside of the body just so it'll pop more. So just kind of leave all that negative space. All across the bottom here. Okay, so I'm just thickening up those edges. Alright, so see how much that stands out there? Okay, so now I'm going to go up and around. Over my fingers. Again, just thickening up the edge. Follow that around Vegeta's knuckles. And let's go up the side of Goku's face. And again, the reason I like doing this is it makes it stick off the page more. It kind of fits the anime style a little bit with some of the thick line work. But the main reason is I just like it to pop. And so you can see how that's making it pop against the grain. So now all we gotta do is just go up over Vegeta, and then we're gonna come in and we're gonna shade a little bit just to bring the picture out more. Make it look as epic as possible. So yeah, when you're doing this stuff, like this video is probably going to be close to an hour, possibly an hour 15, just depends on the situation. But when you're doing this stuff, good artwork takes time. I've said this before in my videos. I'm sure there's somebody who can show you how to draw this in 10 minutes with just line work and a marker or whatever. But kind of learning the process of how it works too in real time is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with adding in all this detail on here. Now what I'm going to do is we're just going to kind of shade in lightly on certain things. So we want to kind of keep that kind of cell shaded look to it, so I'm just going to very lightly shade in with a light gray. I'm trying to get this to where you can see it as much as you can. Okay, so we want to keep it under the chest. So we'll bring that under this part right here. Just keep that on top like that. And then we can kind of outline the shadow shapes that we want. So like for this whole upper region here, I think I want to leave a little opening. And need to fill this in to a point. Again, I'm just going to stick with that lightened cell shading look. Okay, same thing down here in the abs. And I'm just going to color those in a nice light gray tone. Okay, and then same from here. We're going to kind of come out and down through this area and bring that back up. And we're going to have a light reflection out here so I can fill in all of this. Okay, so again, we're not going for realism, we're just doing like a cell shaded, so like some of these lines you may want to darken up before you do it. But we're just kind of cell shading our image to a point. So like down here on the leg, I'm not going to go all down in here, but we'll to a point. Just kind of color it in. And again, it'll just help us pop the image more. Not necessarily something that has to be done. If your plan was to color this, you technically could color over this shading, and then just use a darker version of that color that you're using to color the outfit with. Okay, so like with this here, let's make sure we darken those lines in there. Again, we'll shade that in right there. Come back here, the other side. Kind of build out this shape here. Have that kind of come up, and then from here, and go up under the chin. And then we'll leave an opening here on the edge. And take that down right into here. So we'll just lightly fill that in as well. And if you wanted to, when you were all done, like if you wanted it not to look too rough with the pencil, you filling it in, you can always go in and try to smooth it out. Your fingers or a little sumi rolled up paper. gotta make sure you go back and fill in some of those dark lines that you're shading over, just because it'll kind of fade it out a little bit when you smudge. Okay, so we just kind of filling that in. Again, not going for realism, just a light cell shading. Okay, so once we have that under the chin, I mean, that's gonna pretty much take care of that part. So the next thing we'd want to do is like underneath the chin here. Just kind of have that run back so we can shade this part. Right here. And then like down in here, kind of make these two like rainbow shapes. And you can fill it in up to the chest muscle line. So to fill in that. And then we can kind of come down from here. Kind of make a shape like this. So we just want light hitting certain spots. Okay, and then like up here on the neck, you don't want to come out too far. But we can fill that in like that. Okay. Same thing, you know, over here on the shoulders. I'm going to kind of set high with the light and where it's reflecting. So I'm going to have a little bit more exposure on the lower region. So like, see how it fills in right there. And we can fill in a tiny bit here. And then for the shoulder, we just reverse it on top. That's where our light's going to come in at. And then in here, we're going to kind of do a mixture of the two. So we can kind of like start in the middle here and come out. Okay, so that'll fill in that gap on the shoulder. The back part of the hair here, we can fill in. We can do a small bit right here in the center and work our way out. Again, probably this inside area. And just go down through the hair this way. And then like down here by the ear. You can go up. And come back out that way. Okay. And inside the ear, right in here. Like that. Okay. And for the back part of the hair, you get all this right inside the middle here. Now stretch up your line a little bit. As you come down, we can kind of come up. These little lines there. And then for this part, we can just start at the back here. Again, we can darken any lines that seem like they're fading from our shading. Okay. Same thing down here. And shade that back. Then we just kind of need like this middle region here, so we can just kind of do a little bit inside and a little bit back to the edge. Right there. Okay. Now we have a few more just right here. And then our key concern is going to be areas like on the forehead and, you know, like how we did the cheek lines with Goku. I'm going to want to add in some of those too. So let's kind of get some roundness to the cheek. Just have it like down in that area. I can do a little like side piece of the nose here. Just like that. Shade a little bit in the tooth. And down here on the chin as well. Like that. Okay, and we can work our way out. The shoulder. Just filling that in. Let's get a little muscle divide line here. And we'll shade that in. Okay, get the whole underside of the arm. And just have that kind of take on your elbow shape a little. Go up under the glove just a little. And out here onto the forearm. And we can take the glove back. and just keep shading in areas. To help bring our image to life a little bit more as we go. And let's get another curve in here. And one more for the pinky. Okay, and get like a slight shadow on the knuckles. Like that. So that's one side with Vegeta. Let's go ahead and do the other side, which everything's pretty much going to be the same method. It's just going to be the opposite just because the way the two characters are clashing and the way their light would be given off. That we're kind of, going to end up having all the shadows be on the opposite side for Goku. And a little bit of shadow right in here, and darken this line up for Vegeta's glove. Still sticks out more. Okay, so like I said, everything's going to be opposite Goku. So all of my shading is going to be up here on the top. Also right here. And that would just kind of come down this edge, eventually fade off. So just kind of fill that in there. A tiny bit right here under the arm. Again, I'm going to keep everything opposite way that we did on Vegeta's. So I'm going to have more exposed here towards the center. Running down that underside of the arm. So let's fill that in. Okay, and then same right here. Just kind of fill that in. Okay. Then down here on the shirt, get a little bit of shadow in here. Just gonna darken that line up. Fill that in. And another shadow right down in here. And we'll kind of shade this midsection. Right in here. We'll get that same kind of line work that we had on Vegeta. Except this time we'll make it a little easier. We're just gonna come down, darken these lines. Pretty much everything to this point. So I can just shade. Fill that in. And that'll just carry over and down to right here. And I want to kind of show this coming out a little bit here, just to get that roundness to it. Okay. From here, I honestly should probably have a line or two here. Just have that go past. And we'll just shade that in as well. Okay, and then same thing here. Just kind of darken this line up. And we'll have that kind of follow over and come out. Okay, probably just get an extra shape in here. We can fill in that entire back area. Just like that. Okay. Then for the nose, take that back, get a little bit of this part right here on the brow. A little shading here. We want to have that come back. Like that. Okay, we want to get a little bit of the inside of the ear here. And we can shape ourselves some of the brow. Let's darken that line in there. Okay, we get a little bit of shadow in the eyes here. Let's get another brow shape. Come up and fill that in. And we want this underside of our forehead as well. Okay, we can get the inside of the mouth here. A little bit on the teeth. And then for the hair, again, we want to kind of do the opposite. What we're doing with Vegeta's. So just specific areas. Shade it in. And we'll take this up, and we'll just use this inside edge and then kind of stay inside this triangle. And then we'll do the same thing here. Kind of stay inside the middle. Like that. And with that top edge again. Right in here. And since we can't really see the rest of the hair, and that is going to do it for Goku fighting Vegeta. If you like what you saw and you stuck around, I appreciate it. And if you would want to subscribe, leave me a comment, let me know what you think, any ideas for what you want to see, or you just want to talk, that's cool too. Just let me know down in the comments. Other than that, keep on sketching, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, y'all? Bye.